claiming the block. That's gonna probably claim my children. Dear Philadelphia, this is how I'm feeling. Dear Philadelphia, this is how I'm feeling. And I ain't trying to preach, I was raised off drug dealers.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Everything Philly Podcast, your platform for information, entertainment, and hitting some hard topics. I'm Cherie.
Wadsworth Rob.
The real Wadsworth virus.
Listen, we gonna keep on pushing that. I like the way EA Energy came in the building and tried to educate us. That was a good video.
Yeah, that was really good.
I really like it. I mean, he's funny. It's my guy. Shout out, EA.
Yeah. All right. So I know everyone has seen this video that's out. I want to talk about it a little bit.
Oh boy.
The video with Diddy and Cassie. The domestic violence video, because it definitely was hard to watch, to see a woman being treated and being abused the way that that video showed. And then his apology for getting caught. No, I don't. That was my opinion. But his apology. What do you think about that? Do you think he apologized because he got caught? You apologize because you know he has a problem? What are your feelings on that?
What my feelings are? I could give two freaks about it. I mean, my opinion on everything about it is that any man that sit there and kick a woman and drag a woman has an issue. Like, it's not about nothing else but mentally. Like, what's mentally going through your head when you could stomp a woman on the ground or drag a woman? And that's an issue. That's not nothing else but an issue, a serious issue. And I'm not really into talking about my brothers when they're on the down slope because, like I said in another episode, though, you never know what's going through a person when they acting out. And it's sad to see that once everybody's idol is now a victim because of the situations that he's going through. Do I feel bad for the young lady? Yeah, I definitely feel bad for the young lady all day. But it's not something that I want to dwell on or whatever case may be.
Who's the victim? You think
I
he's
don't-
the victim?
I don't know. I don't know the whole situation. Like I said, there's always two stories to everything. I mean, two sides to every story. So, do I
But
think
you're-
she deserve it? No, I don't think she deserve it. But at the same time, I look at the woman, whereas though that's not the first time he showed you that that's what he's into, or that's what he could do. That's what he's capable of doing. So, what made you stay around all that time? So, you sitting there and taking the abuse until it just got out of hand is almost telling him that it's okay for you to do what you're doing. Like, you're not forced, you're not shackled in a house and stuck. You had many chances to get away from this final episode, but you didn't. So was you being that greedy or manipulated for materialistic things or that life that you was willing to sacrifice your body? Like, it's not that it's right. Like, we're not talking about right and wrong. It talks about the love that you have for yourself. You understand what I'm saying? If you love yourself, then all that stuff that you're worried about gaining because who he is, that's sad.
Well, I think clearly she didn't love herself. There was some lack of self-love and lack of feeling worthy. But I also know I've never been a victim of domestic violence, but I've known people very, very close to me. And a lot of domestic violent victims are manipulated through the mind. They don't feel they don't have the courage to leave. They don't have that mindset that I don't have to deal with this. Fear is hella. When you fear, you're afraid of someone. Um, and then the manipulation piece, having that hold, having that control over someone's mind is not always easy to get out of. It's not everybody's story. It's not everyone's case. But I find it hard to believe, and I'm not saying that it couldn't be for greed or because, if I leave him, I'm not going to have this lifestyle anymore. That is someone's story. But I think for the most part, when someone is subjected to domestic violence over and over and over, I think at that point, it's their mind is controlled. They don't feel like they can leave. And you're talking about somebody that's very powerful. So do you think maybe it took a lot for her to get to that point where she had the courage enough to leave, where someone believed in her, believed her story, didn't look at her differently because, this is a billionaire. This is someone.
I mean, you can say all that. I mean, if this is looking in hindsight, if you had $1 billion dangling over my head and you say, well, this can be yours, or you could benefit from this just as much as I do if you let me beat on you or do this to you or do that to you,
Mhm.
like, it's going to be hell no. Are you crazy? If
Obviously.
it comes down to that, then I might as well do something to end yours and take all of it without me having to go through the abuse.
And I'm
I
sure it
can't.
didn't start that way. Sometimes women, unfortunately, or the victim, you know, he won't do it again, or sometimes they blame themselves. Maybe I did something wrong. They sometimes believe like they deserved it. And that's that controlled mindset.
I'm not saying I'm the perfect guy because I have put hands on a female before a couple times, and it wasn't because I enjoyed it, because after the fact, to watch her cry make me feel sick in my stomach. But I don't like when somebody blatantly lies in my face, or treat me less than what I believe I deserve. Because if I'm thinking I'm giving you my all and I'm honest with you and upfront with you about everything, then I don't see why you do that. And it's not a reason for me to ever put my hand on any woman. And I definitely truly apologize for that. But it would never get to that extent where as though I'm actually really trying to hurt a female, like kicking a female, punching her in the face. And no, it's not that serious. You don't have that much to prove when it comes to that. It could be a push or a little slap or whatever the case may be. But even that makes you feel guilty, like you're being a bully. And there's no need for you to be a bully if you believe that you are a man. Like, I don't have to prove I'm a man to a woman. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. But at the same time, if I feel as though I'm dealing with a woman that feels as though she needs me to put hands on her to show that I care, because I have had people say, "You don't care about me. If you did, you wouldn't do this. You wouldn't allow me to do that," or whatever the case may be. No, I mean, it's like you have your own right to do what you chose to do, and it's my right to either stay with you or walk away from you. So there's mental on both sides.
Mhm.
Like, some people watch their parents being abusive to each other, as though that's how they show they love. They've been together for 60 years and all this and all that. And that's the only way they know to prove their love to one another. So I don't know. Like I said, there's always two sides to the story, and you never know what led to that or how it became that. I just feel sorry for both of them because there's no win for neither one of them. Even
No.
though she gained money, she still have
A lot of
she's
trauma, a
a
lot of
lot of
scars.
trauma. Like, how can you ever trust somebody again that you thought loved you when you had to go through all that? Do the
Mhm.
next man have to put his hands on you to prove that he loved you? Like, the mental is way more than the physical at
Mhm.
the end.
I
Like,
agree.
so it's a sad situation. And like I said, it's another fallen, legend, because he was becoming a legend. He is a legend still in some people's eyes. But then again, you look at R. Kelly, like, he's not a legend no more. Nobody don't even want to talk about him and do this or that once you got that title behind you. So it's like another black man going down the drain. It could have been somebody. Like, it's every time somebody get to a status, something bad happens.
I think it happens with white people too. They just have it's just covered up easier. A lot more things are accepted. Um,
No, I mean, I'm not. Of course, things happen in their culture too, but I'm saying it's not national wide the way it is
right. It's not
with us.
publicized,
Like, that part. Like,
which is why we, as people of color, especially when you get to a certain status, you really got to be mindful of how you handle your business and the things that you do. You're always in the public eye, you're always under public scrutiny. Unfortunately, that's what comes with the territory when you reach a certain status. And I just feel like we publicize things so much, we put ourselves out there so much. I just feel like we need to be more mindful.
I would rather go a lot deeper. I don't want to sit there and say when you reach a certain status. I want to sit there and say, as a parent, a child, a sibling, or whatever, these are the things you should be installing in the kids' head while they're maturing, while they come into that age when they get into relationships or whatever. You got to learn to love yourself before anything. Like you can't love somebody else when you don't love yourself. Somebody else can't respect you if you don't respect yourself because you're allowing them to do whatever they chose to do to you. So as the parent or older sister or brother, we got to start teaching, even a friend or whatever the case may be. We got to start teaching. You see somebody that looks like they going downhill because things happen and they just getting the best of them in life. They feel as though they're not worthy of this and that. You got to start encouraging them to love harder,
So you think that this isn't something that just started as an adult. These are
learn
traits and
behaviors.
things
Yeah, learn
from
behaviors.
from a child.
I mean,
Okay, that's going to lead me into my next question. With you saying that it's a learned behavior, it's a lack of some form of parental guidance. Do you think parents protect their kids at any cost or protect them too much? And then as adults, you have these type of things that happen.
that scenario can go a lot of different ways. It's like that's personal. That's a personal issue with me because of a situation one of my children went through. Like, when there's three things I don't do. I don't get involved in my children's relationships for three reasons. One, there's always two sides of the story. Two, 9 times out of 10, they're going to end up getting back together. Three, you can't control the narrative. You don't know what's going to happen at the end. It could be something very violent. It could be something very bad, nasty, or whatever the case may be. So, in order for me to get involved in it, it's not like because you're my son or you're my daughter, I'm going to take your side. I have to hear what led up to the situation. Perfect example, um, your daughter got a boyfriend. Unfortunately, her boyfriend isn't no good. He's out here running around doing what he's doing. She so happened to walk up on him and see that he's with another girl. Off the gate, she slaps him, spit in his face, or whatever the case may be, because she feels disrespectful. He mugs her. She falls on the ground. First thing she do is call her parents or her bigger brother or whoever the case may be. The situation, she calls her mother. The mother, I don't want to say mature enough, but I'm going to say mature. She isn't mature enough to go and talk to the young man to see what happened. You don't know what happened. You just run into your daughter's aid without finding out. And you coming up there too, you a grown woman. He's a teenager. You just want to be on your daughter's side. So you're coming at the boy hard. He disrespects you because he's still a man. You a woman. He disrespects you. You feel some kind of way because you ain't get your point across. You call the husband, the father of the kid. You're going to give it the worst because you want him to be mad. You want him to come up there and put hands on it. So you're going to, oh, he beat your daughter up. He was so disrespectful. He called me this. He called me that. Any man that love his daughter, his wife, or his baby mom is going to come up there and rage. Like, you ain't going to disrespect my family, whatever the case may be. You bring your brother, your cousin, somebody else with you because you don't know what you leading into because you're going in blind. And you get up there and you just ready to call you great, make an example. So happen, these young kids carry guns nowadays, and you coming up there ready to go, and you get laid out. He get laid out, he get laid out, his cousin get laid out, whatever the case may be. Who wins in that situation?
Nobody. We got two dead people and somebody's going to jail.
What
And they're
happens to
traumatized.
what happens to the young lady?
The young lady is traumatized forever
Why?
because she caused the death of her dad and whoever it was, her uncle, whoever it was that he brought along, the brother, she caused the death. And then now her boyfriend is going to jail.
So at that point,
So
feel
she
like
has a lot of guilt. She's traumatized. That's very traumatic. You just cost 3 lives.
so now do you feel sorry for her? Or do you say that's what she gets? She shouldn't have been so fast to jump the gun.
I'm not gonna say that's what you get. I can't even say that I feel sorry for her, but it's a very unfortunate situation.
Me personally, I feel sorry for her because she's still a lady at the end of the day. You still have to fend for yourself. So what happens the next time where you feel like somebody disrespected you? You're at a stand. You're stuck because
mhm,
you lost somebody because of that. You lost somebody very dear because of that. So you don't want to call your brother or somebody else the next time because the thought in your mind it might go south again. So now you're traumatized. Like it's that's bringing everything back. You don't know what to do with the situation. Like that's bad. That's a lose situation for everybody to me.
mhm.
And could the parent had avoided that?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And that's the trying to protect at any cost, but you're actually a part of the problem.
You're a big part of the problem.
You're
You're
part
not
of the
teaching
problem.
your daughter anything.
Because everyone should have walked away from that situation at that moment.
It's an easy
It was
situation to walk away
Yeah,
from.
it was too heated. Nothing was going to be resolved. Everyone should have just walked away.
And that goes back to episodes that we had before. Do the parent care more about the child? Do the child care more about the parent? It's like at sometimes you guys just sit back and say, look, this is what it is. Like, I know we're blood. I know I love you. Know I love you, but I just can't let you go to this route.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you really love someone, then you don't let them run into a brick wall. You don't feed them garbage just to have
Right.
more animosity. Like,
Mm-hmm.
we need to learn to come together and look at the long haul of things instead of just snapping to somebody to prove that you're there, you're all the way down. It's like the guys that's in the street running around hustling for each other, whatever the case may be. As soon as somebody get locked up, everybody disappears. They don't know you no more. Like, but you're only down because you thought y'all was a gang and y'all was family like that. And you don't find out how true somebody is until the bad times hit.
Mm-hmm.
Now you don't get a card. They'll stop to see your family. They'll make sure your kids is okay. Like first thing you hear somebody say, he was a dummy. Like why he do that? Like what made him go that route?
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on, we got to stop being so down just because of the cause.
Mm-hmm. Start thinking first. Think things through. We are quick to act before we think, and then we think after the fact, but it's too late.
So I guess the bottom line, the question would be: do we really understand what love is? Do we understand what loyalty is?
I don't think so. I think there's so many different versions, and the younger generation now.
Loyalty is everything to them, but is really nothing.
Right. Loyalty is everything to them on the streets,
But
but
in their heart
right,
and their soul is
it's
nothing.
nothing.
It comes down
It's
to
absolutely nothing.
I'm only doing this because everybody out here and they see us and they know if I'm not shooting with you, I'm not fighting with you, then I'm a chump. I'm not down with the team. But if you get caught, everything goes south.
Which means they don't understand the true meaning of loyalty.
Definitely don't.
How can we fix that? How can we
Education,
get through?
talking about it. Like you can't run from something that you're trying to fix.
Mm-hmm.
It just don't happen. Like it have to be addressed. You have to be strong enough to say, listen, let me give you something, young buck. Or let me give you something, honey. Whatever the case may be. If me and you in the house and I just see you walking over stuff all day long and it irritates me to my bone every time I see you stepping over. But you don't even know you're stepping over it. You don't even know you're irritating me because I never speak on it. Like, what kind of loyalty is that? What kind of love is that? Like, loyalty may just seem like an act, but loyalty is mental as well.
The communication,
Yes, all the way.
and that's a big piece that's lacking. Nobody talks.
They don't know
And I
how
think
to.
nobody, right. But for so long, I think that they have not learned to talk because for so long, like people didn't think they had a voice. They didn't want, no one was listening.
You think that's what it is? Or you think they was afraid to be judged from what comes out their mouth?
I think that too, but I think even before thinking about being judged, it's like, is anyone really going to listen? Are they going to hear me? Are they going to listen to what I'm saying and try and help me?
That comes down to your self-confidence. Because if you really believe in yourself, then no matter what you think, what they think, you're going to say what you feel. If you listen, you listen. You don't, you don't. But if you don't have no confidence, then of course you're going to sit there and be like, what do it matter what I say?
But I'm also thinking about, like, as we're trying to teach children to be able to advocate for themselves and speak, kids are the first ones that are always shut down.
Don't forget adults. It ain't just kids. We can't just keep blaming it on the kids.
No. I'm not blaming anything on the kids. I'm talking about it starts like that loyalty and having those lines of communication starts younger, so that as they get older, communication is the norm. But we always talk about how kids need to be heard and no one listens to them. So maybe if we like open more opportunities to listen and help them to recognize that they have a voice, they will communicate more, get some of those feelings out. And it's
Instead
not
of
all
bottling them up. I
right.
agree with you on that 100%. So I think that's enough on that one.
Okay.
So what you got coming up?
All right. Got some exciting stuff. I know that was a little, but I just wanted to touch on that a little bit. And if you are going through, if you have a toxic relationship or you're going through any type of domestic violence, there's a lot of ways to, a lot of avenues that you can take to get the help and the support that you need.
Don't be afraid.
Yeah, don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid and
Talk
keep
to someone.
accepting it.
Yeah, you are worthy. You are everything. All right. So I have a contest that's coming up. You got to watch the next episode.
Finally.
Whatever.
Finally.
You have to tune in. I know it took me a minute, but I had to make sure that this was structured properly. It is $500 grand prize on the line and some amusement park tickets. So no one has $500 just to throw away. So I had to make sure that this contest was solid, it was fair, fun, and help you get to a bag. So you have to watch the next episode because the next episode is going to give you all the details. It's going to give you the rules and it's going to give you
your first clue.
Right?
And what time this episode coming?
We're going to do the next episode and that will be coming out Saturday morning, 9 a.m. Gotta watch. You must be a subscriber. But I'll give you all the details in the next episode. So stay tuned. You're gonna want to be a part of this amazing race.
So is the contest all in one day?
Yes, it's all in one day.
From start to finish.
From start to finish.
You have to figure these clues out.
Figure the clues out.
Get that bag.
And get to the bag.
It's like the Lucky Charm.
Yep.
Go over the lucky rainbow
lucky
and
bag,
get the gold.
$500 cash.
But is it only one winner?
No, we have 3 winners. Top winner is $500. Second place is an amusement park ticket. The third place is
one is Great Adventure,
one is Great Adventure, and one is
Dorney Park.
3 prizes.
Good luck.
Yes, 3 winners. It's gonna be awesome. You're gonna want to be a part of this. So make sure you stay tuned for the next episode to get all the details.
Saturday morning, 9:00.
Yes.
Good luck. Take the money out of my pocket.
Don't forget, like, subscribe.
I'm mad. I'm gravy broke.
Comment and share.
Share meaning give us some of that money back when you win.
We can talk about that. How you can donate to the cause.
Thank you.
All right. See you guys.